Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the masculine and the feminine energy and why they are so pivotal on this journey. Some may resonate, some may not, but for me, I've really resonated with the masculine and feminine energy. I channel this, and we all know we're made up of masculine and feminine energies, and this is about bringing those back into balance, into harmony. When we bring those into harmony within our own energy field, how that impacts outside of us is quite significant. So that's why I want to talk about this. And it's also when you've got those really anchored in yourself, that is when you start to feel so much better. So much better. Anyway, you can follow my Instagram page if you like, because my Instagram page is going to be all about masculine and feminine energies. I'm going to use that platform, it's not really going to be on twin flames, it's more about masculine and feminine energy. And the reason why that is because I'm very called to speak in that whole space. And I'm going to be, if you look on my website, I've updated my whole website. It's all very exciting stuff going on here. I've got my first exhibition this weekend coming. So this is what soul does. It doesn't keep you quiet. It keeps pushing you along. And so, yeah, I'm super excited because I'm going to be talking about this more on LinkedIn so I can get into workplaces and run team events. I don't know. We'll just see where soul takes me. Anyway, that's what I'm up to. But masculine and feminine energy is so important on this journey. So let's get into this one. So welcome. I'm Kathleen. Now, this has been profound for me. Working with my two energies has probably been the biggest thing that's really helped me shift energetically and helped me really unify and come into this beautiful energy and feel just so anchored in as well in my actual being, my true inner being, which is my soul frequency. And if you follow or have followed Leora's work, she is all about this, and that is the sacred journey. It's the dance of the two energies, and your twin will have their own set of masculine and feminine energies, but they have a piece of you and them, and then vice versa. So your job as the feminine polarity is to bring yours into balance. How do you do that? And this is what I really want to talk about today, because people get stuck on this journey about how do I show up for myself? What does that even mean? How do I pull the energy back to me? What does that mean? How do I get into my feminine energy? What does that mean? Everybody seems to know what masculine energy is, and therein lies the problem, because we are operating on this planet in too high masculine energy. And what is masculine energy when it's toxic? Force, control, structure, rigid, not pleasant to be in when you are not balanced within your feminine as well, as I know. And so it leaves us disconnected from ourselves. So anyway, let's first of all talk about these two energies. So the masculine energy is that structure, it's that rhythm, it's that consciousness, it's that awareness, it's the assertive side of us. It's that, I wouldn't know if I use the word confidence, because I think confidence comes when you bring the two into balance. But it is that one that is logical, very analytical, right? When you operate in that all day, every day, particularly in a workplace, because that's typically where we see it, it leads to burnout, and I can account for that, which I will come back to. The feminine energy is the nurturing, it's the creative, it's your intuition, it's that, like the masculine can be empathetic, but it's different. It's just that softer, more nurturing, homely type feeling. The feminine energy within you, she wants freedom, she wants to create, she wants to be expressive. When you have the two of them working together, you have almost like this assertive, but you can be compassionate at the same time, right? So you can deliver a message in a way with a healthy boundary, but also bring in your feminine, which is more compassionate, comes from the heart, coming from your heart space. When you need to make decisions, right? So planning, for an example, is very much the masculine energy. But the feminine energy needs to bring in the flexibility, because not all plans go to plan, as we know, right? What's that saying? Plan to fail. No, fail to plan, plan to fail, right? Oh dear. Anyway, that's my corporate life coming out of me. But the problem is that when things turn upside down, we have expectations in behind it, that's when the problems arise. So this is why you need to have that beautiful balanced feminine energy within you, so that you can shift and mold and be in flow when something doesn't go to plan, as opposed to being in high masculine energy and just completely disconnected and just not happy, and you become very rigid and disconnected and closed down to other options when your plan doesn't actually go to plan. So that's just a little bit of, I guess, context around those two energies and working together. But what happens to you when you bring them into balance is you feel more centered, you feel wholeness within yourself, and that's what this journey is about. It's about bringing you back to your original true being, which is balanced energy. You feel complete, you feel whole, you don't feel the need to go outside of yourself for validation, because you've carved out space to do that for yourself. So how do you show up for yourself? Well, you show up by, one, putting some rhythm back in your day. We know that when we're early on in this journey, things just turn upside down. It's like the tornado comes in and just dismantles everything that's not in alignment, right? Jobs, homes, relationships, fall over, friendships, etc. As the leading energy in this, we need to really go inwards. The feminine polarity goes inwards, and she or he, however you identify, but we're just talking about the feminine energy at the moment. She needs to go inwards and really discover that feminine energy. And how I did this was, first of all, claim your masculine. It's your energy. That other body has got your energy in it, and it is your masculine. So you must show up for yourself. Your outside or external masculine will not show up for you while you don't show up for yourself. That's your strength. That's your power. That is the foundation of your home, right? The feminine energy is the colors and the textures and all that sort of stuff in the house. The masculine is the concrete, is the wood, the roof, the structure, right? The feminine is all the other stuff inside of it. So it's important that you add some rhythm back in. Just start with baby steps. If your life is all chaotic, start with one small thing, and that is getting into the rhythm. Put in a daily rhythm of meditation, because it's very much that feminine energy. You know, if you're really out of balance, I found meditation was key for me. I used to meditate all the time. I don't these days. I don't need to. And that's the thing. The cool thing about this journey is, as you shift and you become more centered and balanced, what you had in place early on, you don't need going down the track. I find personally now, if I meditate too much, I'm too much in 5D. And so I need to be anchored more into 3D, because I really struggled between 5D and 3D. So, but, you know, if you know, your energy's all over the place, just centering yourself. So create that rhythm that I'm just going to commit to this, which is the masculine, so I can sit in my feminine and just meditate and just bring my energy down. And maybe that meditation needs to be focused around affirmations, some real self-love affirmations, because what you're doing here is you're also reprogramming the subconscious patterns, which, by the way, your masculine plays out, because that's what they do. So you got to get into a conscious space to reprogram those things, and you can do that through subliminals. You can do that through affirmations. The key here is you're not doing them to get your twin. I just want to get clear on that. You're doing it so that you can come into beautiful, balanced energy. It's important to carve that out, you know. Your feminine energy, she needs space. She needs space to just be, even if it's for 15 minutes, just so you can tap into that side of you, into your intuition. The feminine energy needs to connect in with the higher self, with the totality of you, because this is not the totality what you see of me. There's so much more going on here. So it is really important that you learn and play with these energies. You know, you will either resonate or you won't, but for me, it's been integral. We are made up of masculine and feminine energies. everything in nature on this planet is made up of feminine energy, feminine and masculine energies. Look at the 7 Hermetic principles. It talks about there's gender in everything. You know, this is key. It is really important. Now, the other thing I would say is part of this journey is about transcending that ego, right? The ego likes to feed on stories that are simply not true. And this is why coming into that, creating that rhythm and that balanced space so you can become the observer of those stories and start to see them for what they actually are. And it's all just stories. And they're not true, and they may have been an experience at one point in your lifetime. However, it doesn't mean that they're true today, but they feel true because the stories keep going and going and going and going. It's really interesting when you become the observer, right? You'll be out in a cafe, for an example, and you'll see a couple just chit-chatting about whatever, particularly women. Sorry, particularly women. This story and their friend said this and their friend said that and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, there's no truth in any of it. And it's so, but I mean, we've all been there, but it's just so fascinating. And it's those stories that keep playing out. And those are the things that you want to collapse because they're not true. They are just stories. And by collapsing them, you're shifting the subconscious patterning within your energy field as well. So, yeah, a little bit of a mixed bag, but I guess what I really want to get across here is that staying in high masculine energy all day is suffocating your feminine energy. It suffocates us in the workplace, and then we bring it into the home. And I definitely did that. And I brought all my masculine energy into the house, and I was so disconnected from myself. And when you start to connect in and you learn about your feminine energy, she comes alive. She's radiant. She's a goddess. She just radiates out beautiful energy, and she's got that beautiful masculine energy within her now. She feels safe in her masculine. She trusts her masculine, and she feels comfortable in her own skin, in her body. She's in awe of himself, however you want to go there, like this is nothing to do with gender, but you feel very centered, very balanced, and very powerful because you're no longer in the stories. Your energy's not all over the place, and you just feel more grounded. You really do. So that is where I am pivoting a lot. I've talked a lot about this already on YouTube, but I'm talking a lot more in other spaces now, and it's really important on this journey as well that you claim your masculine and you start anchoring in your own inner masculine energy and start putting things in place, showing up for yourself. Showing up also means letting go of old energy that's no longer you. It's about recognizing that this is not me anymore and I need to dismantle it. I need to get rid of it. And that could be an old job. It could be a friendship that's really holding you down. And you need to come into that space where you recognize energetically that those things are not in alignment with you anymore. And it's just about learning. The more centered and balanced you become, by the way, you also stop going outside to ask people's thoughts, ideas, feedback, because you realize that actually when you're doing that, they can only come from their own perception, from their 3D. And that's what's important. Sorry, I'm looking at my dog. I can see her bouncing over here. Anyway, that is a little afternoon ramble from me. If you need some help and support, I have all the resources. We deep dive into this all the time in the Awakening Meraki membership, but also I support in depth through coaching and also the Ascension to Union Masterclass. I'm very big on learning about these energies. They have been the number one thing for me to really help me shift. And I'll tell you something else, it's really helped me anchor in my purpose, which is always shifting. And you feel anchored in, you're listening to your higher self, you know that you're the soul, you no longer feel the need to go outside looking for validation from anybody. And you start to see, the other thing you start to see is everything opening up for you. When you're in alignment, right, everything starts to come. You have a very, very deep knowing, And that's the other reason why you don't need to go outside for advice, because you just trust yourself. And that's my focus, is to guide everyone back to soul. Your soul knows what you need. And so it's all about resonance. But you do need to be in your frequency to magnetize in your twin for them to permanently stay with you. And your frequency is balanced masculine and feminine energies. It really, really is. Anyway, as always, sending lots of love.